So today, my friends, we are going to make a simple dish. It's potato salad. I know it doesn't seem like it's that important of a meal, but it is a fantastic side dish in the summer, and the one I make does eat like a meal. You'll absolutely love this potato salad, so let's get into it. All right, so these are the ingredients that we're going to need today. We have 2 bunches of green onion, 1 bunch of radish, 1 large field cucumber. You can use in English if you'd prefer. We have 1 coil of garlic sausage, 1 bunch of dill, 6 to 8 eggs. I have 8 here. I really like eggs. About 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, give or take. We might have to add some more depending on how it goes. We'll do that at the end. I have about 2 teaspoons of mustard, 3 pounds of potatoes, and then some salt and pepper, obviously, to taste at the end. So the first thing we're gonna do is get our potatoes cut up. I've already washed them, so now I'm just gonna cut them in half and get them in the water, and then I'll get the eggs going as well. And then once those are finished cooking, in the meantime, we'll chop everything up. We'll combine it all into one big bowl, and we will have the most amazing potato salad you've ever had in your life. Let's get into it. We're gonna start off by just giving our potatoes a wash. Make sure you get all those pesticides off of there. Nobody wants to eat the pesticides. I'm just gonna cut them in half, like that. And if you come across any like rotten bits, just cut them off. Like that. Once that's done, we'll be ready to get them in the water. So we'll see you in a few minutes once that's finished. All right, we got all of our potatoes cut up. Just a quick note. When you're making this potato salad, you obviously don't have to use the mini potatoes if you don't want to. If you'd prefer to have a potato that doesn't have skin on it, for instance, you could get like a Yukon Gold or something like that, and you could peel it and then you could dice it up into pieces of potato about that big. Or if you do like the skin and the nutritional value that it gives you, then you can go ahead and use mini potatoes, or you could use a full potato and cut it up with the skin on. It's your choice. Just be aware that you probably want to use a more creamier or waxier potato for the potato salad, as opposed to like a russet potato that's great for, baking or mash or something like that. All right, so let's get the potatoes in the water. First, of course, you want to make sure you salt your water. Get your potatoes in there. Also, we're going to need to cook the eggs. So I'm just going to get some cold water into a pot. Now, the reason I'm going to use cold water is because this will allow me to put the eggs in the water without having to drop them in, because I won't be burning my hands in boiling water. And also, when you heat the egg up with the water, it'll stop it from cracking when the water in the egg starts to get up to temperature. It'll happen at the same time, and that'll stop it from cracking like if you put it into boiling water. So we can drop our eggs in, and we can put those on the stove as well. When you're cooking your egg, you're going to wait till the water starts to boil, and then you're going to set a timer depending on how you want your egg to be cooked. If you want it like a not quite a fully cooked yolk, then you're going to go for about 6 minutes. And if you want a fully cooked yolk without the gray around it, then you go up to 13, but don't go past that. If you go past that, you'll overcook it and you'll get that gray ring around the yolk. You don't want that. It doesn't look good. It doesn't taste good. So while these are cooking, heating up and cooking, we're going to start chopping the rest of our vegetables, so that when this is ready, we just have to cool it and then add it in, mix it all together, and we're good to go. Right, so while we wait for these to cook, we're just going to chop all this other stuff up, get it in the bowl, and get it ready for when the other stuff is ready to add to it and mix it all together. So here we go. So you're just going to want to clean up your radish. I got a little colander here. I'm just going to put them in so I can wash them off. So our eggs have just started boiling, so we're just going to set that time. I'm probably going to do about 10 minutes. I don't want them to be fully cooked. I want them to have a little bit of wetness to the yolk, for lack of a better term. That nice dark color. But I don't want them to be runny. So 10 minutes should be fine. Okay, we got our radishes all cleaned up. Now we can just slice them. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing it like that, you could always just cut them in half and just slice them up that way. It's completely up to you. Also, don't forget to check your potatoes. You definitely don't want to cook them to the point where you're going to mash them. So I'm pretty sure the potatoes are good to go. And the fork slides nicely into them, but they're not falling apart. So I think we're exactly where we need to be with that. We'll get them out of the water and start that cooling process. For the sausage, might make it easier for you to break it down into pieces. So we're just going to slice it this way and then slice it this way, much like the potato, if we were doing a full potato. And then we have little cubes. Okay, so for the cucumber, I like to leave some of the skin on, but I do like to make it look nice. And then there's spots like this you might want to get rid of. So what you can do is you can stand it up and just run your knife down. And just take part of the skin off, and then when you're slicing your cucumber up, it'll just look nicer, but still retain some of that skin. If you don't like skin on your cucumber, you can take it all off, use a peeler, whatever you want. If you want to leave all the skin on, you can do that as well. Also, if you don't want full slices like that, you could always cut it in half. You could quarter it like I did the meat. So you end up with pieces like this. I see here the eggs are ready, or you can quarter it so you have cubed pieces of cucumber like that. Personally, I'm going to go with the cubed just so I can match the rest of the stuff that's in here. But first we got to get the eggs off the water. So our timer's gone off. I'm just going to take the pot, I'm going to put it in the sink, and I'm just going to run some cold water into it, and that'll cool down the eggs. Once they've cooled down, we can start peeling them. So as you can see, the green onion doesn't look the freshest right now in the stores. It is winter. I live in Canada, so it is what it is. Just going to get all the ends lined up nicely so I can get rid of that. You can chop your onion, like this if you don't care about how it looks. I personally prefer a more bias cut, so I'm going to cut it at an angle. I just think it makes it look way better. And now for the very tedious, painstaking part of the project, and that is the dill. Depending on how much you want this, you can pick it all off like this. If you don't care about getting some stem in, then you could just chop this all up. It doesn't really matter. It's going to work either way. Personally, I don't want a whole ton of stem in mine, so I'm going to take the time, and my potatoes need to cool anyway, to just pick all the dill off. And it may seem like a lot of dill here, but trust me, you want it. It is going to make this potato salad. Okay, our eggs are cooled down, so we're just going to get these cracked and peeled. Just give them a little crack on a flat surface all the way around. And that peel should come right off. If you have one of those egg cutters, that is absolutely fantastic to use. And unfortunately, I honestly don't have one, so I'm gonna put my head down. So I'm just gonna have to do this with a knife. It definitely isn't ideal, but it is what it is. So I'm going to chop up these eggs like so and get them in there. Okay, well, our potatoes are still kind of warm. I don't really want to put them in here yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them in the fridge until they cool down, and then we'll come back and we'll get them in here. We'll put in our mayo, mustard, salt, pepper is basically all we're going to do for that. We'll get it mixed up, and then we'll get some on a plate for you. All right, we'll see you in a bit. All right, so our potatoes have cooled enough in the fridge, so we're just going to add these here to our potato salad. Slightly important ingredient. Some salt, pepper. Gonna be here for a while.
Many months later. One eternity later.
I like pepper. All right, get our mayonnaise in there. Now that I'm looking at the amount of potato salad that we have here, I probably don't have enough mayonnaise. Mustard, And we'll just start giving this a stir. The reason I started out with only half a cup is because I don't like the potato salads that are just overloaded with mayo. If that's something you like, put as much as you want in there. I'm gonna throw the lid on the floor and add about another half cup. Just gonna give this a taste. Make sure we got enough salt, pepper, seasoning. Just a pinch more salt. So this is exactly what you're looking for. And that is our incredible potato salad. So now that we have our potato salad here, I'm just gonna finish it with a little pepper. Like I just said earlier, I absolutely love pepper. So now we're gonna get our picky child to taste the meal and see how it is.
Not that picky.
Okay.
I was picky.
Okay.
I'm better.
That's what he said. They all say that. Just be honest.
Okay, I like the texture of the potato and the crunch of like the cucumber. I think it's pretty good. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the feel of the dill. I thought it was a weird feeling. I didn't enjoy it that much, but it tastes great and it's a good dish. Yeah, potatoes, cucumber, egg, mayonnaise, mustard,
Garlic sausage.
garlic sausage, right? The garlic sausage. It's all great. I like it.